Sir Alex is out at Old Trafford. The ambassadorial role for the greatest manager in the history of sport is gone in October, while Manchester United are in 14th. How are we feeling, Sir Alex? Taking a step back, INEOS having the board meeting, and then you know what they said? This guy. Hit the bricks, pal, mid-season. No shine, no PR, no, thanks for the memories. Just a ruthless, cold cut. See you later. $2 million off the books.
I mean, on paper, it sounds horrible. How could they? But at the end of the day, it's like he had a pretty cushy gig. He's getting paid $2 million to basically, at the time, let's be honest, he was doing this to basically cover up some of the woes of the Glazer regime. Wasn't handled well because the timing. You should have done it in the summer, right? You don't want to do it like when the team is languishing, like you said, and below mid-table. So it feels callous. I don't think it is callous. If I would have done it, I would have been like, give him a haircut. Give him, instead of $2 million, which is absurd to do basically nothing, give him like $400K, which is like more of a reasonable director kind of board of director compensation, 80% haircut. And that way he stays around. Everybody feels good. I'm sure he would take a reduction in salary, but everyone's just like, they got rid of Sir Alex, when I know this is all about money.
Okay, let's bring you some more breaking news. And we understand that Sir Alex Ferguson will be stepping away from his ambassadorial duties at the end of this season. The context behind this, we understand, is obviously he turns 83 in December, and this is one of a number of time-consuming responsibilities that he is stepping back.
All right, Sky Sports giving you that ambassadorial role comment, just telling it like it is. The breaking news. Now, interesting reaction from this. We had Cantona tweet back, clap back, if you will. He says it like it is. Quote, Sir Alex should be able to do anything he wants at the club until the day he dies. Such a lack of respect. It's totally scandalous. Sir Alex Ferguson will be my boss forever, and I throw them all in a big bag of shit. Wow. He just came out and said, INEOS, you know what? F you. You can't cut the man because he is the man, and he's the only reason why you wanted to pay that money for Manchester United. This came alongside of an announcement there will be no more directors or Sir Alex going into the locker room anymore. So they're trying to create a barrier where, the Glazers used to get into the locker room post-game, and they're getting rid of that. I agree with that. Probably should have thought about the messaging with Sir Alex, though.
I have no problem with this because this is literally just a pure financial decision. But at the end of the day, it's like it's about how you do stuff. It's not just about what you do; it's how you do it, how you handle it. The timing of it wasn't done right, and I'm telling you, they could have packaged it differently. And be like, his role's being downsized, but he's still going to contribute. He's still going to be like a non-operating board member, or some way to shine it in a way that doesn't be like they fired Sir Alex. How dare them? So. I don't know. Maybe that's Americans. We're more used to firing people.
Respect, man. Respect.
It's respect for me. And ultimately, this is kind of what it's a little window, just a little teeny tiny window in INEOS and their decision making, because the fact that this leaked at the time it did, when United are 14th and the manager is getting cooked in the press and they're not coming out and backing him either, and they're just getting rid of his job and they don't care how it looks or about the spin or anything. I just think it's just showing you maybe INEOS are a little tone deaf when it comes to managing the hype around United. It's a big responsibility. It's the biggest club in the world. All eyes are on it. And when you're dealing with something that is sensitive, Sir Alex is 83. You want this to look good. You want it to feel good. You want it to be thanks for the memories. You want Sir Alex to be on board. You want him to be saying, hey, I think the club's headed in the right direction in a statement. You want INEOS shining him up as he leaves out the door, or putting him in a different role that maybe saves some money. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just got to look good. How you deal with Ten Hag, it's got to look good. It's got to, like, if the club's in crisis, you need to come out and back the man. Like these things that INEOS are doing that maybe at, smaller clubs they own or an F1 don't matter, but at United they do. And I feel like we're seeing them make a few mistakes because how they treat like the greatest ever do it, at the end of the day does matter. He should go at the end of the year, but it should be messaged in a more sensitive way. And I think the Glazers didn't really care about a lot of things like that. And if INEOS don't, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to learn lessons.
No, I think what this is showing is that this is a big challenge, and INEOS are still getting their arms around it.
Exactly.
I don't think they haven't handled Erik ten Hag, let alone this season. Last season when they first got in February, well, that's been a bit of a mess. They have made good appointments, but I think the team that is in place, I think they're still finding their feet. I think they're still figuring out how to work together. I'm sure part of me suspects is a little bit of a challenge, Omar has been kind of appointed as a CEO, but I still think a lot of stuff has to be kind of signed off by Radcliffe at a corporate level. So I think they're still, like I said, finding their feet. I think they're going to make a lot of mistakes in the early days and hopefully learn. That'll be the difference between the last regime. The last regime made the same mistake over and over again and refused to learn anything. I'm hopeful, I think Radcliffe made his billions for a reason. He found it because he knows how to do shit. So I would imagine they're going to learn from their mistakes. But right now, they're still getting a hold of this thing because they haven't quite dialed it in.
They're getting a hold of it.
It feels a bit of a mess. They shouldn't have leaked.
No,
it wasn't even an announcement. This was like a leaking. It's never good.
They got a lot to learn, and I feel like if they were to hire anybody to run that show, sir, you and me would do a pretty good job. I would tell you what, the food would be a little better at Old Trafford.
I'm on that.
Like you
It's
might
Grand
be able
Watch.
to get a ride out of the stadium after the game was over. There's a lot of things that could be improved. But Sir Alex, thanks for the memories. I'm sure they're going to celebrate them at the end of the season. I'm sure this was kind of a faux pas, if you will. But let us know what you think. Is this a harsh deal by INEOS? Did they mess up? Did they kind of bottle this one? Let us know what you think. Get it in the comments below and support the Muppet Take here on YouTube.